Look at a bird's eye view. I've never heard of mash build. How much is the Eagle Rare? In Denver for a wedding, but we're also gonna hit up a couple of distilleries and do a little bit of bourbon hunting. Let's go see what we can find. Check out the button. They've got Blanton's Gold and Winkle 12 years, so that's the Lot B. So I made the trip from Cincinnati to Denver, Colorado because one of my friends is getting married, and I figured might as well do a little bit of bourbon hunting while I'm in town. I talked to a couple of people. They told me Argonauts is the first place I needed to stop. So that's where we're at. Argonauts Wine and Liquor. It's right in downtown Denver. We're gonna do a couple of different bourbon stores and liquor stores here on the trip. Don't forget to hit that like button as we jump along a couple of these stores, see what we can find. All right, let's go inside. Wow. They weren't lying. This place is huge. Good beer selection. Tequila. There's the bourbon aisle. And up there they got fine wine room. There's a whole lot going on here. Tequila case. All right, let's get to bourbon. Oh, here's another end cap. The regular Jack, an Old Forester.
So my name's Josh Robinson. I'm the president of Argonaut Wine and Liquor. It's my family business. It's been in my family since the 1960s. I'm actually fourth generation here at Argonaut. So I currently do all the spirits buying as well as daily ops, HR, everything that goes along with that.
So what makes you guys so much more of a bigger liquor store here compared to some of the other spots around town?
Well, I mean, Colorado was kind of set up for its liquor laws to create these kind of mega stores. We're an independent market, meaning up until 2016 there were no chains, there was no wine or liquor in grocery, and before 2019 there was only 3-2 beer in grocery. So what that allowed was for these big kind of mega stores to grow because we were the only spot for it. So it's created a really unique independent market in Colorado where we can have these huge stores that can carry a large selection of things and take risks on a ton of local brands. It's part of the reason Colorado has such a great microbrewing and micro distilling industry.
What's your favorite part of the entire community?
Oh man, tough to say. There's so much. I mean, we are lucky we sell a product that people drink when they're celebrating, right? So we get to be a part of weddings, we get to be a part of things like bar mitzvahs, we get to be a part of, for the parents at least, we get to be a part of birthday parties. So when people are here, they're happy. So we love getting to be a part of that.
I saw on the sign, free party planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So bourbon selection, that's a big thing right now, and even here in the Rockies, single malt is really a popular thing here. What about your selection is unique?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we are able to carry hundreds of different brands, including several dozen local brands as well. And we're unique because we really were kind of pioneers in the barrel pick department before people were doing it. And it was cool. Yeah. I mean, we did the first pick of Buffalo Trace to ever come to Colorado, and at that time it was really not a boost to sales. It was just kind of do the rep a favor, and we did it a bunch. So we've been kind of grandfathered into a lot of programs, and we still get some awesome picks and some really great juice coming through us. Yeah.
So if someone coming to town similar to myself walks in the door, what's the first thing that they're going to notice? First thing they're going to realize about your liquor store?
Yeah, well, first thing is we have a awesome, super knowledgeable staff. Anything you're looking for, we can help you find. We have, on the wine side, we have probably 8 sommeliers on staff, including myself.
Oh, wow.
We have, people who try all the products. Everything that's on the shelf, probably someone in the building has tried. So anything you're looking for, we've tried it. We can talk about it. We can help you out.
That's awesome. And you've got an app, which I downloaded, and that's really cool. Talk about the difference with the app and what you do with the app.
Yeah, so the app, it's a fully functional e-commerce website essentially, but also what we do is we do all of our barrel drops, rare whiskey table releases. Any time before those things happen, I send out a push notification 30 minutes before, let people know so they can get down here and see what we got.
Yeah, and you just had one, was it yesterday or Wednesday?
Wednesday, we did, yep. So that was a copper and cask private blend, which is a really cool product. We collaborated with a bunch of stores around the country in the Wine and Spirits Guild. So stores from Kentucky, North Dakota, us, other stores in Colorado, some of the best kind of retail whiskey minds in the country coming together to create this private blend. It's a 7-year cask strength, and it is fantastic. At $49.99, it's a steal. So, starting right here, we've got a bunch of our single barrel picks. The Laws Rackhouse series is a first of its kind that we're super excited about. We blended a 7-year wheated whiskey with a almost 4-year bourbon, created kind of like a super wheater. That's one of the ones I'm most excited about in the store right now. Russell's just came in. Those usually don't last very long. We have an Angel's Envy pick, Smoke Wagon Rye pick, Elijah Craig Private Barrel. We've got some awesome picks out. Usually we'll have anywhere from 6 to 12 on the shelves, and also we have a Scotch pick right now, the Kilchoman Mocker Bay. We do tequila picks. We've done rum picks in the past, so we just try to do as much as we can to get unique products here and in the store. And then on this end cap right here, we kind of keep some things that aren't always on the shelf, but a little bit more limited, a little bit harder to find. So everything from the Willet 4-year Rye through the High West Cask collections, brand new Hidden Barn, the Black Label, which has been getting some awesome reviews, as well as our Smoke Wagon Private Barrel, and things like Baker's sometimes show up here as well.
Yellowstone Toasted. What do you think about the Johnny Drum?
I love Johnny Drum. I mean, all the stuff from Willet that isn't their OG mash bill, their thing, I still love. I mean, Old Bardstown for $29.99, that is an absolute steal.
Yeah. And then Wyoming, right up the road, right? Not a ton of states get the Wyoming whiskey. This looks like a different bottle that I've never seen before.
Yeah, so this is their National Park Series. It's a once-a-year release. This is the last little bit we had from last year's release. 5-year, it was fantastic. I'm actually really surprised that one's lasted this long.
Oh, that's cool. Might have to walk away with that.
Right.
Cool.
And then, over here, these are all our local whiskeys. Everything from, the big brands you've heard of, Stranahan's, Laws, Leopold's, all those guys, all the way down to, super small. Some of my favorites, Block, they do some awesome work.
That's a neat looking bottle.
Yeah, the bottle's great. They make some fantastic gins too, as well as like Mythology, same thing, awesome whiskeys, but really, really good gins as well. Talnua's great.
Oh, right up the street, right?
They're close. And then one of my favorite things to come out recently, this Leopold 8-year. Okay. So it's an 8-year bourbon finished in their 3-chamber rye whiskey barrels, which gives it like this super awesome oily texture, a little bit of like orange peel. That's definitely a can't miss.
You weren't joking when you said you knew about everything in the bottle in the store, right?
Pretty much.
Deerhammer, something that popped up. I haven't heard a whole lot about it. That's a Colorado distillery.
Yeah,
right?
So they're out of Buena Vista, Colorado. They do some awesome stuff. Their rye is my favorite of the line. It's got like a malted chocolate rye thing to it, so this awesome like chocolate note makes it awesome Black Manhattan. Super tasty.
Wow. Really amazing selection. Just of Colorado whiskey.
Yeah, this is all just
the whole
Colorado.
aisle. Wow. It's the whole aisle, guys. Outside of your picks, but
right.
Yeah.
And then over on the other side here.
Is this the copper and cask you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the private cask we did.
Not to distract you or
No, not at all. And then this is going to be your kind of more traditional bourbon and rye set. Everything from Kentucky, Texas, everywhere but Colorado, I guess.
Yeah.
And we carry, I believe last time I checked, a little bit over 400 different SKUs. Probably getting close to 5 now. So a ton of awesome options here, and I'll leave you to check it out.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it,
man.
Josh.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So as Josh said, they've got a lot. So let's take a look at the classic bourbon aisle first. This is from Nelson's Brothers. We already talked about Nelson's Greenbrier whiskey in the top right if you want to watch that bourbon hunt through Kentucky and Tennessee. But this is just going to be your general Kentucky as well as Tennessee whiskey. We're looking at Tennessee whiskey with Uncle Nearest. Prices here are pretty good. Barrel Foundation, don't sleep on that, $55. And also the soft red wheat from Ben Holiday, one of my favorites of last year. Barrel Vantage, I continue to praise that, and we just did a review on Barrel Batch 35, which should be out here soon. So they had a smoke wagon pick, which we'll look at here in a bit, but they've got the regular smoke wagons. Great pricing here too. That's one thing you never know what you're going to get when you go to a different state, is what the prices look like. Russell's 10, that's unfortunately the price that most places have it at now. That just continues to come up from that whole Russell's Reserve collection. They've got the Russell's regular single barrel, but they've got a store pick just down the street, just down the aisle, which we'll look at in a second. Never heard of this. Sextro Rye. Prohibition Rye. Distilled from rye and grain in Iowa. Carroll, Iowa. Distilled by Bad Bear. That's a new one to me. If anybody's tried that, drop that in the comment section below, but I've never seen that label before. Dexter had that in the airport on the ride from Cincy. Good stuff. That comes from Brain Brew, which is actually out of Cincinnati. Noah's Mill, he talked a little bit about the Willet products. High West, we're a little bit closer to Utah, where High West is coming from, so a much bigger selection than I've seen. Tosin Creek, haven't seen that pop up too much, but an amazing selection here of just the Kentucky and Tennessee whiskeys. They don't have the rye in stock here from Bardstown, but what are the prices on this? Discovery 810 is $139, Bardstown Origin $49.99, and $44.99, which is exactly MSRP. So if you're here at Argonaut, you're going to find MSRP, an amazing selection. Never Say Die. I've heard good things about that. That's a new up-and-coming whiskey. And also, I'll just say don't sleep on Frank August. $80.99 for a small batch. Very good stuff coming in out of this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. You got some of the Texas stuff, Balcones, Kings County out of New York, Wiseman from Kentucky Owl. Middle West, I'm happy to see some Middle West being represented in Denver, Colorado. Vincent Chattanooga. Noble Oak, that is also coming from Brain Brew out in Cincinnati. Blue Note, Juke Joint, this is not the uncut, but that's a great price, $35.99. And then we're looking at Blackened. Corner Creek, that's a new one too. Whew, that was close. Almost had to buy a bottle, guys. Corner Creek, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. That is Crestwood, Kentucky. The new one, well, that's why. Caught it on the top of the shelf. Bernheim Original, Charles Goodnight, Texas bourbon whiskey. The new one, dark bottle. Jefferson's. So that looks like Malort. It is not Malort. It is actually very good. Don't sleep on that either. Hemingway, and then Blonde Brothers. Tin Cup. So that is owned by Stranahan's. You got the Templeton, Rittenhouse, Old Porter, Old Pot, Old Patero, 100% pot distilled San Francisco. Distilled and bottled in San Francisco. I've not seen that. A 100% malted rye. So it's American malted rye. Interesting. Hirsch, Castle and Key, more Wyoming, Still Austin, Cask Strength, Wild Turkey, Town Ranch, Few, Beardstown. This is a new one to me as well. Cask House. Bourbon whiskey finished in rye barrels, non-chill filtered. Farm Spirit, Commerce City, Colorado. Alrighty, moving on. Green River, good stuff there. Redwood Empire. Looks like they've sold out of all of the cask strength, which is not a surprise. Tin Cup again, Old Overold, minor case. McKenna, Old Fitzgerald. Rebel 100, 6 years. It's a good bottle for those of you who are looking for a Weller. This is a 6-year-old bourbon. Comes in, I believe, at 100 proof. Yep, 100 proof. $56.99, but that's a good substitute if you're looking for Weller and you can't find it. And we've got Breckenridge, of course. That's in Colorado. On this side, we've got Buffalo Trace. These are the big guys. $59.99 for, that is the handled version. Looks like they had the handle version of the Eagle Rare, which is gone, which are actually really good prices for Buffalo Trace products. Looks like their allocated case. Haven't had anything from World Whiskey Society, but their toppers are always cool. And then Jefferson's, and never even heard of Lasso. So on this side, you got your makers, Larceny. So you got a couple of Weeders. great prices on that. Makers, Elijah Craig. This is your general, just bigger brands. Michter's, Horse Soldier. Oh, they're even signed. So that's cool. Jack Daniels is a barrel proof bourbon. Don't see the rye. They've got the bonded rye and triple mash. Basil Hayden. Pretty much all the normals. Buffalo Trace, how about that? $25.99. They got Traveler for $38.99. If you're looking for a review on Traveler, I did that a couple months ago. You can check that on the top right of your screen as well. That's a great price for Buffalo Trace. I think that's what I've seen it the lowest at in a while. So cool stuff there. Another case here of some allocated stuff. They've got the big pot still with Willet. Hirsch single malt. Oh no, Bullet single malt is gone, so that's what that tag is for. So the Hirsch selected bottle, Whistle Pig 21, Barrel Seagrass, very old St. Nick. That cigar cut is so good. Stranahan's, aged 10 years. It's a really cool bottle. Of course, locally distilled. And then American Highway Reserve, Maple Hill. And here's those single barrels that he was talking about. What does their Russell's pick look like? So, 8 years old, bottled, May 20th, 2024. Warehouse TYF, floor 4. Love me a Russell's pick. So this is the one he was kind of gushing over, this experimental blend. 65% bourbon, 35% wheat. That's cool. We're gonna go check out Laws a little bit later with Outlaws. You may remember the interview I did with him. He was talking about this end cap. We won't go too much over that, but let's look at some of their picks. So they've got that Wyoming whiskey pick. They've got a double oak pick. More of the Stranahan's. Angel's Envy pick. That Laws pick. Leopold Brothers. Private Barrel. Smoke Wagon Straight Rye. So this is a 6-year, 51-45-4. So one of the lower rye contents in a rye that you can get, with the lowest rye you can get at 51%. 45% corn, 4% malted barley. Warehouse E, floor 3. You don't see these too often. More Stranahan's Blue Peak. And Westland. I mentioned these are all Colorado, except this one is a Virginia distillery. So that is Virginia Distillery, Cuvée cast, occurred in condition. Spirit Hound, that's a Colorado distillery, so it's 291. Like I mentioned, this is in the entire aisle for the most part. Lock & Co. Distilling, have never heard of them. Distilled in Texas, okay. It's a new weird looking bottle. American Woman. Oh, it's a female. And then the Laws. Really awesome selection here. Deer Hammer, we talked about that. Five Trail, which of course is the Coors Whiskey Company. Also, so is Barman. And then Fireside. I haven't seen this one before either. We've got the Denver, or the Colorado state flag on the top. Bottled by Mile High Spirits. Distilled in Colorado and Indiana. So it looks like it's a blend of a couple of different whiskeys. Underwood Spirits. This block is really cool. $65.99 for the 4 grain straight. That's a really cool bottle I've never seen before. And then Branch and Barrel. So really cool selection, not just of the regular whiskeys you're gonna find, but the Colorado whiskeys here at Argonaut, which you guys gotta come check out. All right, I was talking about Branch and Barrel. I just ran into Kevin, who
Howdy.
you help sell it, right?
I'm the director of sales of these guys right here.
So tell me about Branch and Barrel and the honey cask that I see here.
Sure thing. So we got our 2 whiskeys right here. We got our flagship award-winning bourbon right here on the right. We make a lovely 4.5-year-old local bourbon. What we do for our honey cask finish is we take our flagship bourbon after 3 years. We freshly empty those barrels.
Okay.
We then fill it with local honey. We work with an apiary called B Squared Apiary. They fill it with about 16 to 18 gallons of local honey. We rotate these barrels. At least we age our bourbon back in those honey-infused casks.
Oh, okay.
End result, you're gonna get a little touch of honeycomb, vanilla, orange zest with that lovely bourbon backbone.
Cool.
Right, nice.
Kevin, it was nice to meet you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure getting to meet you, my friend.
Guys, go check out Branson Barrel, a Colorado distillery. Enjoy more shopping upstairs. Oh, Stranahan single barrel, as he was mentioning. Cask strength. Kind of all the stuff that was on the shelf down there, but just another spot for it. Okay, they do have extra Woodford Reserve double oaked. Up here looks like it's all the wine, so if you're a wino, and there's the, if you're a wino, fine wine room. This is upstairs, so. Argonaut Wine and Liquors. Let's look at a bird's eye view. So if you're looking for it, good chance they've got it. I'd call that a success. Picked up 2 bottles, Spirit Hound, the regular single malt, as well as that Wyoming whiskey that Josh was talking about. Great store, great people. Come check these guys out. Argonaut Wine and Spirits in Denver, Colorado. If you enjoyed that, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're gonna go journey to a couple more liquor stores and see what else we can find. All right, next stop, we are in Lakeside, Colorado at a place called Molly's Spirits. Another big recommendation over from Ryan at Boulder Spirits at Vapor Distillery. We're gonna pop inside, see if they've got anything cool and what we can walk away with. Organization's pretty great. Another bunch of Buffalo Trace, $27.97. There is a limit, but hey, not a bad price. I've never seen Breckenridge in a handle before. That's cool. On the other side, the Dickel Leopold Brothers collab. Of course, Leopold Brothers, Colorado. Jefferson's regular bourbon, Red Breast, 12-year. That is $83.99. They've got a very great selection, and it's all separated pretty cool. They've got international whiskeys. They've got it all divided pretty well. Bourbon and Tennessee whiskey, also rye and flavored whiskey. Your general, just regular bottles. Prices on this right where they should be. The Jacks, the Jims, $15.98 for the small Jim. But ooh, this is the Denver Nuggets Jim Beam. Got the Jim Beam 7-year, $24.99. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond on sale for $53.97. Old Granddad, Evan Williams, $17.83. Peerless Double Oak, $94.99. We talked about Russell Reserve. So Peerless, Bullet 12-year, we did a review on that, $62.99. Not a bad price. You can check out the review on the top right. Got Green River Rye, which is a great bottle. Also Bardstown Origin Series, $71.99. This reminds me a lot of a Binny's out in Chicago. You've got Rittenhouse Rye, Bottle and Bond. You've got the store select Bottle and Bond, which I believe started to become a thing. So they've got it all pretty split up pretty good. They've got the rye section, they've got the bourbons, and the rye section's pretty big. And this is why I say it reminds me of Binny's out in the Chicago area. They've got all their ryes separated out. Willet 4-year, $89. Whistle Pig, Rossville. Amazing selection at this store. The Senator, I've not had that yet, but I've heard good things. And then you start to get to your flavored whiskey, which they actually have a sign for. So if that's your thing, that's your thing. Not mine, not gonna judge. More Blonde Brothers, love to see Blonde Brothers out here. It says Illinois Distillery out in the west side. Henry Do Yours, rye whiskey. Oregon. Tosin Creek again. Ammunition, Devil's River, Jim Beam Rye. I don't even know if I even knew about that, but great aisle here. Here is the Canadian and Irish. Of course, you got Crown. Teeling just did that quick review on their Wonders of Wood, but that is their single grain and then their single malt. Small batch. This is a really great international selection as well, just of Irish whiskey. You've got green spot, you've got yellow spot, $135.99, red breast. You've got a ton of those. Cask strength at 125. Check out the button. So, do you have any blend? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we've got bourbon now. Four Roses, single barrel, $51.97, Molly Select. Very knowledgeable staff here. Justin, the store manager, knows what he's talking about. So if you're looking for a recommendation, he's definitely going to have something for you. Barrel Vantage, Tale of Two Islands, batch 35. We talked about batch 36. Silas Jones, Hidden Barn, Thomas S. Moore. They've got all 5 of them. This is the distributed by the folks over at Sazerac, who have Buffalo Trace. Oh, no Blantons. You just saw his button. Bourbon Pursuit, $72.99. Elijah Craig Toasted, love to see that on the shelf. Magnus, that's just the regular one. Draconis. Bardstown Origin Series and the Discovery with the 9, which is $149.99. Creek. You got Calumet, the 8s, the 8 and 15, the 15 and the 16. I mean, if you're looking for a high-aged whiskey or high-aged bourbon at a decent price, we're talking about $10 per year for the 16 year. It's a good choice. More Horse Soldier, Copper's Craft, Chattanooga Whiskey. Love to see these guys out in Colorado. The 91 proof and then the 111 proof cask strength. Ancient Age. Of course, a lot of people say if you can't find Blanton's, find Ancient Age. But Yellowstone, 93 proof. I do enjoy their single barrels. Woodinville and Holiday, 19 Stone. This is a new one to me. So 19 Stone, that is out of Brooklyn, New York. New Riff, of course. That's a new one for me as well. Dry Fly, 3-year bourbon. Out of Washington. Distilled in Washington State and Indiana. So it looks like a blend of MGP juice. This is straight wheat. That doesn't say where it was distilled, but I'm assuming they are blending with some of their MGP stuff. More Wyoming whiskey in Blue Note. Crossroads, James E. Pepper. Okay, if you're looking for a substitute when it comes to a Weller Full Proof or a Weller 107, so this is 120 proof, Rebel Cask Strength. This is a Molly's store pick. I would definitely recommend that. Then you got your Willet, your High West, Green River. They're down to their last bottle on the full proof. Ross and Squibb with Remus, Breckenridge, and then now a lot more of the Colorado distilleries that we just saw over at Argonauts. So Talnua, a little bit more Talnua here. Boulder Spirits just stopped by there yesterday. Good stuff. Stranahan's and Law's Whiskey House, which we'll be stopping at later on today. Really amazing selection here. We are at Molly's in Lakeside. All right, this is their single barrel selection. Justin says they do about 30 different single barrels a year. You got Ezra Brooks, Rebel Cask Strength, Stellum, Arenas Pick out from MGP, New Riff, Traverse City, Wathans I continue to hear great things about. The Knob Creek Select that I mentioned earlier, the Senator, Rittenhouse Rye. Gonna probably walk away with one of those. Draconis, but it gets about 30 different of these every year. Different barrels. He likes to do some local, likes to do some craft. So I think we're gonna go with this Rebel cask strength. On sale, $59.99 down to $52.97. So again, if you haven't been to Denver, or if you are in Denver, come check out Molly's. They are in Lakeside. They've got craft beer, they've got craft whiskey, they've got wine, cider cooler. Really cool store. Come check these guys out. Okay. This is their allocated section. It says available through raffles, and on the sign it says for every $500 spent, you get 3 entries for a chance to win some allocated bourbon. They've got BRT 01 and 02, Blanton's Gold, Old Fit 17, that's the Gatsby, Van Winkle 12 years, so that's the Lot B, Single Barrel E.H. Taylor, Thomas H. Handy, Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, the Toasted Barrel Elijah Craig for the Ryder Cup last year, and then the Weller Antique. Looks like they've got a couple of single barrel selects as well. This one is Colorado Straight Bourbon from Peach Street Distillers. Not heard of them. Traverse City out of Michigan. Knob Creek Single Barrel Select Rye, $58.97. Some tequila. High-end hooch. Barrel Seagrass. You've got the black and the red box. Whistle Pig 12. Sweetens Cove. Good Guy Barrel Proof. I haven't seen that one before, from 291. William H. Macy. Very Old St. Nick, Doc Holliday. Some Irish whiskey, some Japanese whiskey, and then the Scotch. And they've got a very good selection. All right, another great stop at Molly's this time. Great selection, great prices. Go talk to Justin. He's the store manager. Walking away with the Rebel Cask Strength store pick and the Rittenhouse Rye Bottle and Bond store pick. That was a loud grocery cart. Hopefully you heard everything I said, and if not, I'm sorry. All right, let's make a couple more stops. Next stop, we are in Edgewood at J&J's Liquors. It's just across the street, what we call Sloan Lake, a really cool park. Just went for a nice run out there. So if you're in the Sloan Park area in Edgewood, J&J's Liquors, let's go see what their selection look like, and if we can find anything that we haven't seen so far, or anything Colorado related that we could walk away with. Start with Horse Soldier. We've seen that quite a bit here so far. And then Garrison Brothers, this is from Texas. You can see $84.99. Never heard of Steeple Ridge. Single barrel bourbon on the left. 51 ABV, so 102. Where is Steeple Ridge from? America's Heartland. Distilled from Whipsy Valley corn. 2 years. Never heard of it. It's a new one. Got your barrel products on the top, along with Rabbit Hole, Outlaw Whiskey, 5 Trail, which is coming from Coors. We've talked a little bit about that as well. Coming down a little bit. I love this bottle. Collaborative series with Goose Island. Outlaw Peanut Butter Cup. That's a new one, probably for those who like Screwball. Bardstown Discovery Series 10, $149. Origin Series, this is a great bottle, and that is a great price, $49.99. That's right at MSRP, and that is MSRP for the rye as well. If you can't find an Old Fitzgerald bottle and bond, this is one that I would say try to replace it with. Looking at a little bit of tequila here. Law's Whiskey House, a very good craft distillery. Expect more. We already talked to Al Laws in a previous interview, which you can check on the top right, but this is a great company that you don't want to sleep on, and we've got a more in-depth interview with him at the distillery coming up. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of that as we head on throughout the next couple of weeks. Deer Hammer, this is a Colorado whiskey. I haven't seen this one yet. Colorado Mountain Bourbon Whiskey. And in Breckenridge, you got the Denver back-to-back championship ones. 2 different looking bottles there. Those are $45.99. The Broncos edition. Brush Creek, crafted in Wyoming. Chattanooga, going down a little bit. Ooh, tin cup 14er. So it's 14-year-old bourbon cut with the Eldorado spring water, $69.99. I've never seen this bottle. I wonder if this is a Colorado exclusive. One thing that I don't love about tin cup is the lower proof. 84 proof for a 10-year and a 14-year. This is damn smooth whiskey. That's kind of like obvious shirts, right? Damn smooth whiskey. Templeton, Boulder Spirits. I don't know why this is on the bottom shelf. This is really good. This is their bourbon. We also have an interview coming up with Alistair as well as Ryan from there. Stranahan's. Here's the big bottle, $55.99 for their original. There's the sherry, $2.91. Yellowstone, this is the 2022 special edition, 101 proof, and then the Rebel 10-year single barrel. Says Rye, $55.99. Then Holiday, we just bought a bottle down the street a little bit ago at Argonaut of Wyoming whiskey. That's just the regular bourbon, an RD1. I saw a Boulder on the ground down there. Uncle's Nearest, you got Blue Note. I love seeing that they've got Blue Note up here in Colorado. That's just the regular juke joint. I would recommend their uncut, unfiltered. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, $59.99. Then you're starting to get to some of these scotches. And then Basil Hayden, you got the Toast. Here's the Larceny Barrel Proof. This is A124. Slightly higher price. That's really the only thing I've seen that's not priced right here. Could be just because it just got Whiskey of the World. Wheel Horse, which I've heard good things about. Wild Turkey 101. Kentucky Derby bottle, $52.99. Pretty good selection, great prices on a lot of the stuff here. We're at J&J's Liquors, just across the street from what is called Sloan's Lake. Don't know, I've never heard of mash build. A blend of straight bourbon whiskey, so you've got, that's a ton of them. 100% Bloody Butcher corn, 100%, so it's not totally, some of that is straight corn. 99.1, so that is $49.99. I've never heard of mash build. That is coming from Colorado, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, so 2 years. That's an interesting one I've never seen before. So is Downslope. Of course, it's got to be a Colorado spirit because it's got the mountain thing to it. Centennial, Colorado.
Metallica.
Up here, they've got Buffalo Trace. How much is the Eagle Rare? $55.99. That's a good price. Macallan 12, Glenlivet. Good selection. I love the fact that they've got a small Stranahan's. I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah.
Come check them out. JJ's Liquors. So, walked away with this Deer Hammer. It's a Colorado bourbon from Buena Vista, Colorado. Another Colorado-only distillery that I haven't seen pop up outside of here while we've been in town. So really excited to dive into this, see what they're all about. Love trying new things, especially being that we're in Colorado. That's gonna conclude the bourbon hunt here in Denver or the Colorado area. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share this with your bourbon-loving friends. So I would call that a pretty successful bourbon hunt out through Colorado, which I will say, pretty underrated state to hunt in. Seems like it's set up for the consumer. Now, there wasn't a ton of allocated stuff, but I'll tell you, the selection was incredible everywhere I went. Of course, Argonauts dropped $132 and about 82 cents on that Wyoming whiskey, which I have not seen in stores, at least this version, and Spirit Hound, which I hear great things about. Of course, met Kevin from Branch and Barrel. Also stopped at Boulder Spirits, which is from Vapor Distillery. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button because we got a really cool video from them coming out soon, which I'll have here in the next couple of weeks. Dropped about $309 there, bought 4 bottles, drank one of them, gave another one as a gift away already. They've got a Bottle and Bond American single malt that is 7 years old, which is delightful. Of course, at Molly's, we grabbed the Rebel as well as the Rittenhouse Rye, that store pick, which I gave to Al Laws, who is a big Rittenhouse and Heaven Hill fan. So That's why that's not up here. And of course, grab the Deer Hammer. And while I was at Law's, I had to grab that 7-year Bottle and Bond because I'm a Bottle and Bond snob and I love Law's whiskey. And we've got more coming from Al Law's. So that was about $93. All in all, the trip about $700. I think the total was $686.60. Probably the biggest bourbon expedition I've done so far. So I ask you and I ask my patrons, and you can always join the Patreon group with that Stormfront. Here's all my Patreon members, and a big shout out to them for being a part of the Stormfront and supporting the Whiskey Weather channel. I ask you, drop in the comment section below, which one of these should I do my next review on, at least Colorado whiskey. Since Rebel's not a Colorado whiskey, we're just gonna pop this one right now. But drop that in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share, and tell me where your favorite Colorado distillery to go to is, or to hunt at, and which one of these you think I should pop open and do the next review on. So until next time, as I always tell you, it's always whiskey weather. Just remember, please be responsible. We'll see you in that next video. Whew, that's good. Well done, Molly's. Well done.